guys, up until this point, my husband has pretty much done this entire garage on his own. He's redone all three sides, the fourth side having the actual garage door. But we've had to take off, I say we, he has had to take off all of the siding, put up new plywood, re-put up the siding, replace some of the siding, take out the windows, redo the windows, just the whole thing. So while I was gone this weekend, he actually took the entire roof off by himself because the entire roof had to come off. Pretty much, very little of it is actually salvageable. Anyways, he's pretty much done all that by himself. And we had a giant dumpster, but he only had it for the weekend. And this poor guy is so freaking sore and exhausted. If you can see, there's so much stuff that needs to both get put away and just needs to get put into a giant trash bag, namely all the shingles. Normally, during my son's nap time, I would clean up the house, start laundry, any of that sort of stuff, but all of that stuff I can do when he's awake. I cannot do any of this stuff when he's awake. And I'd really like to help my husband out by at least just getting some of this cleaned up. Some of it is better than none of it, and I know I'm not gonna get all of it done, but we're gonna get some of it done. But I can't do any of this with my son being awake and out here because there's nails, and I don't want, obviously, him to step on anything. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So we're gonna see how much we can get done while he naps, and at least get some of this stuff cleaned up, reorganized, and all that sort of stuff, because I went off and had a really fun weekend at the water, and he took the roof off. So also, let me just show you what this looks like. Okay, now I should preface this with the reason why we have to redo this garage is because when we bought the place, there was a massive hole in the ceiling. So like everything on the inside was getting wet. It was getting gross. We couldn't park our cars in there. Just really nasty. So that's why we had to redo everything, because everything that was in existence was basically soaking wet. It was starting to grow really nasty mold. Just not good. So that's why we're having to redo it. All right, so we have a tarp over it right now to keep from everything getting wet until he puts the roof back on. But he has put up all of this plywood on all three sides. This stuff was already here and it was still in fine shape. This stuff up here, I don't know if you can hardly see it because it's pretty dark, but it's kind of like this cork board like crap. And that was basically on all of these walls. And it was literally just falling in. I mean, you could literally see the outside falling in, and there was also tons of insulation, really nasty, just super gross. Smells awful. I mean, everything from cricket crap to mouse crap. I mean, just nasty. So I'm so thankful that he has done all of this himself. So I can pick up a few nasty shingles that are, I don't even know how old they are, honestly. I don't know the last time that this roof was redone. So I started by picking everything up by hand at first because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use the shovel or not. Okay, pause. I need to go put my hair up. Okay, hair's up. Let's keep going. So everything that I'm picking up is going into a trash bag because the dumpster was no longer here. But as I was picking stuff up, I was also trying to put stuff in the garage. And so I just decided to get this part cleaned up because honestly, I was tripping over everything. Okay, so to be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure where my husband wants all of this stuff. And since we're not necessarily doing like anything in the garage yet, I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting some of this stuff like back in it, mostly to keep it from blowing away. I don't really think it's gonna be that windy over the next couple of days, but it'd just be easier to like get all the big stuff in there. So that's where we're gonna put it. So the stuff I'm putting in the garage is the old garage door opener along with the metal soffit stuff, so that way it doesn't blow away or get stepped on. I'm not sure if we're gonna reuse any of it, but I'd rather keep it safe in the garage. All right, for reference on like what was happening with the roof, these are the shingles. They are extremely old, extremely brittle. And then this is basically what the roof was in a lot of spots. I'm really gonna need to wash my hands after this. But like, this is what we had going on. So here's the like most unfortunate thing about all these shingles being on the ground is all of this is like rock driveway. So there's not really like any easy way for me to pick any of this up. I can't really just use a shovel. Nothing really like glides over it. So we're having to pick all of it up by hand. So the goal is to pick up all of like the big pieces as much as I can by hand. And then the little ones, they'll either blow away, they'll get covered up with rock when we redo the driveway. They'll just kind of disintegrate. I don't really know, but basically we're going to try to get as many of the big pieces as possible, and get it as cleaned up as like humanly possible without, essentially vacuuming up the entire driveway. So I did start by picking it up all by hand, and honestly, I was questioning why I was doing it this way. Obviously, I started to use the shovel, and turns out the shovel actually started to work. Okay, so I think I was wrong. Some of this is really hard to pick up with the shovel. However, most of it's easier, and I'm just kind of saying, screw it. There's going to be a decent amount of rock or like just stuff that gets thrown in the trash can, which honestly probably needed to get thrown in the trash bag anyways. So we're using the shovel now. It's definitely going a lot faster. Okay, this looks better, right? Feel like it's most all the way gone. It's just a bunch of like teeny tiny like little pieces like this that are just not getting into the shovel, or they're breaking off. So I feel like most of it's fine. I feel like it looks a lot better. And honestly, we're gonna rock over this, so I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm gonna get this little part cleaned up here. Then I'm gonna go check on the baby, see if he's awake. And if he is, get him some lunch, and if he's not, keep cleaning up. Also, I want to note my nails are hanging on tight. They are doing pretty good. I will say shingles definitely scratched the finish off of them a little bit. I don't know if you can really, you probably can't see that. But my nails are definitely dirty underneath, so they don't look as nice, but they are holding tight. So just FYI, they are working well. We've got like this whole section of stuff. Not really sure what to do with a lot of it, but basically what I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to try to get the shingles. These boards and stuff, my husband's going to do something different with that. Do you see how dirty my face is? My goodness. All right, but so far, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to sweep this stuff off later, but this stuff has always just been a mess, so honestly, this is probably the best that it's looked in a hot minute anyways. I need to dig this out and dig that dirt part out over there as well, and just refill it with dirt, because there's dirt and rock and everything in there, so I just need to redo that anyways. But as far as getting stuff cleaned up, there was a whole bunch of stuff over there. I still need to get some of it cleaned up, obviously, but this is the update where we're at so far. So honestly, I thought this was going to take us like all week to clean up, and it actually only took me a couple of hours while my son was napping, and I got probably 95% of it done. There's just a little bit left to do on the back side of the garage. And honestly, I'm just really happy that I could get this much cleaned up for my husband, because he worked so hard for us and he did so much on this garage all by himself, that I'm just glad that I could get some of this cleaned up for him. Okay, I think this all looks better, right? Still kind of looks like crap to me, but I think that's just because I'm in it. Yeah, I think this is definitely better. Let me move this inside. Okay, I think that part looks better. All cleaned up. And then back here also, that's all cleaned up. And then I ended up sweeping some of that stuff off temporarily. There's a few other things that need to get done. Holy crap, my face is a disaster. But I think my baby's up from his nap, which means we need to go get some lunch. So that's what I got. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please like it and subscribe. And I'm going to try to post about once a month for house updates, since we're trying to do them a little bit more regularly, but not so regularly that I have content every week. So I'm going to try to do like a what we did to this house every month. Maybe do some more stuff every other week. I don't really know. But if you liked it, please like it, please subscribe, and share it.